Welcome to the Fancy Football League podcast. I'm your host Aiden, and today I'm joined by the hot streak team of the league, TAC 1421, also known as Started from the Bottom Now We're Here, also known as Sad in Real Life but Happy in Fantasy. How are you doing today?
It's debatable whether I'm happy in fantasy. I would trade all the wins in fantasy for wins in my actual team I enjoys, glory or whatever. I would trade the wins.
I think that checks out because I would do the same. I think in the future, I feel like of this year, I think your team is going to correlate to your real life football because you have so many Bengals, but you just kind of got unlucky so far with the matchups, I would say. At least this past week. The Bengals should have won that game. I'm not even going to say anything else.
Yeah. I mean, we have two games where we really should have won, and that was the Chiefs game and the Ravens game. And those are like the two of the toughest matchups on our schedule, right? Mm-hmm. Definitely should have been the Patriots, but we played awful, so we deserved to lose that game. Carolina, glad we won that. And then what was the other game that we played? What was week 2? I forget.
Was that Steelers or was that someone else?
No, this was our first in division game. So
was it Browns?
I forget who we played. No, because Browns are in our division.
Oh, you're saying this week was the first.
This past week, week 5.
It was Washington.
Washington. Yeah. Washington played really well. So,
yeah.
I guess they deserve to win that game. But it's really been the defense. And this isn't a podcast about the Bengals. So let's stop talking about the Bengals. I'm a sad boy as far as Bengals go. But as you said, people have been rooting against me this year.
You have some rivals.
Yeah, we got some people that are hating, including all 3 people on the podcast, including yourself, are like, let's go beat Troy, beat TAC.
Yeah, I don't want to have to roll.
Didn't give me a chance in week 5. And we posted the 3rd highest score in the league.
You did.
So, do you have any other fancy intros I have to do before we get into this?
Well, yeah, I was just going to say that this may not be a Bengals podcast, but this is a podcast that covers the coveted Fancy Football League.
There you go.
Our Fantasy Football League. With 10 of our friends, well, maybe friends, not sure anymore, but it is as we go through the year and ultimately find out who is worthy of the crown. We will have trials and tribulations that will be all covered here. So strap in and spread those eyeballs because you're about to witness the best fantasy football coverage you've ever seen, especially now that we got TAC back. Let's go.
Let's go. I don't have any fun facts this week. I'm sorry.
You don't? Okay. It's okay. You're still 5-0 up on Brooke, so. But yeah, today we're going to recap what happened in week 5. And then preview the matchups for next week.
Yeah.
So I think we should 100% start with the Week 5 matchup that everyone was talking about, and that is TAC 1421 versus Totally Offensive.
Everyone was counting Taylor out, including the Indianapolis Colts. They didn't want Taylor to play. Jonathan Taylor, that is. But It's okay. We renamed our team. We are now the Taylors. Taylor is our team name now.
Who knew that all you needed was for them to show Taylor Swift on the broadcast about 20 times? That was all you needed.
That's all I needed from Travis Kelce to start stepping up.
Exactly.
We declined a trade this past week. That I'm okay with. I'm okay declining. Both players that were are gonna be that were involved in the trade both scored 16 points for me. That was the double T's, the dirty T's on my team.
The dirty T's. It's funny because I mean Ayuk had a really good game, but Kincaid didn't. So actually, I think you pulled ahead of like in the trade. Well, might have to keep an eye out for.
I saw that Patty got Kareem Hunt, and he scored 21 points. I was like, okay. There was one point in the Monday Night Football game where I was still winning by 30 points, and it was going into the fourth quarter, and it gave her a 5% chance to win. I'm like, I'm doing the math. I'm like, literally, he needs like 3 60-yard touchdown runs or something. I'm like, okay, 5%'s generous there. All right. But yeah, I mean, the Bengals players on my team did well this week, minus Zach Moss. Like, Brown just keeps getting all the carries, so like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I didn't want to start Moss this week, but Taylor was injured, and Mozart, I'm still hanging on to him. I know that he's probably going to be the number 1 running back up this upcoming week, but like I don't know. I still am very strong in my theory that if you start anyone on the Dolphins, you're going to lose.
Yeah, I think they have a bye this week actually. So
do the Dolphins?
Maybe Tua is going to be back. Yeah, Tua might be back.
There you
go. Which, if that is the case, I mean, you might be able to start him finally.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. But yeah, your team killed it. I mean, top to bottom. Besides, I guess,
and even the
Mason
players, some of the wide receivers at the bottom there, Lazard and Cooper, they're getting targets. It's just
look at
quarterbacks aren't. They're not catching the ball or they're bad throws.
Yeah.
In Cooper's case, it's both.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, he's not playing well, and also Watson isn't playing well. So it's like just the fact that he's on the Browns is really what it comes down to. Aaron Rodgers did not look good at all.
But at least they fired the head coach who was in charge of the offense, right? Oh, wait, no, he was in charge of the defense. Oh,
plot twist.
Plot twist. The number 1 defense in the league. Oh, interesting. But that could help them because maybe they'll have to like score more now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they'll be a worse team.
I mean, they've already tried to be. They're already trying to score more points.
Yeah,
they're not doing a good job. So, yeah, Jordan Mason didn't play well this week. Only 14 carries, had a fumble. So, but in 14 carries, had 89 yards. So that's pretty. It
was a crucial fumble too. So hopefully that doesn't like hurt him going forward.
Yeah, I don't know. Not sure.
Yeah.
But overall, like I'm still like, as far as liking my team, I'm still at that like 75 to 80% where I'm like, if I can just get like 1 or 2 more players, I'd be thrilled. But I'm not loving the team, Yeah. I'm always like trying to figure out like, oh, should I put Lockett in? Should I put Cooper in? It's like Cooper and Lazard, they're getting targets.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're not involved in the offense. It's just they're not catching. At least Lazard got a touchdown, but like, I mean, they got 10 points and 13.4 points respectively. Like, that's not bad. Like, they're still
not at all.
Still doing okay. Anyways, felt good about how my team performed this week, especially T. Higgins getting those 2 touchdowns, which I was so pumped about that.
Oh, yeah, that was exciting because it's exciting to have him back. I think I told you this. I might have said it on the podcast too, but my mom and I did a best ball draft where we drafted like all the Bengals. We drafted Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins. So she was like, really happy about that, but it was like almost like she was rooting for that because everything was going bad in like the fantasy league, because it was like, I think it was like, when did they play? Did they play on 10 a.m. the Bengals? I think they did, right?
West Coast time, yes.
Okay. So, oh yeah, I guess. But essentially by the afternoon games, or like the second batch of games, she was kind of already resigned to the fact that she probably lost. So, yeah, it was kind of like, you know what? I'll just hope my team does as well as it can do, get a lot of points. And
I mean scoring 114 points, like that's not...
Yeah.
That usually, for the most part, results in a win.
Yeah.
4 times than not. I'm looking here. She would have beaten you by 0.48. 0.38.
Yeah. She scored the 6th most, I think.
1, 2, 3.
5th most?
4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's... Again, it's like very similar to my opponent last week, where it's like you're beating half the field, but it's just like...
Yeah.
Who you go against, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like we have, and we'll get to the matchup, but we have like one matchup, KMoneyTheRich.
Yeah, we can go into that next.
You want to do that one next?
Yeah, and we'll go into mine after. But this is the only person, surprisingly, that has a win streak longer than yours. And that's KMoney, who has won 4 in a row. Which is wild. That's
crazy. And
because they only scored 90.
Yeah, right. It's like you look at the team, and even the bench didn't really perform that well. You got Montgomery on the bye, so that's, they're coming back. But
Jen also had Gibbs on the bye, so it was like actually kind of even.
Yeah, like Geno Smith did well. CJ Stroud did okay.
Yeah. And Aaron Jones got hurt, which I have my own rant in my matchup, which I'll talk about later. But that one, it definitely was annoying that Aaron Jones got hurt. I'll just say that. But, yeah, that only getting 6 points was essentially what cost her the game. So
I mean, Debo only getting 3 points?
That's true. Yeah, Debo did. It was all Ayuk this week,
reception? Finally. How can you only give him 1 reception?
Yeah.
He had more carries than... I know. 3 carries for 9 yards.
Isn't that crazy? And the Niners lost, too. You'd think they'd be throwing more or getting Debo more involved.
Even like Jennings on the bench, 1 for 4 for 13 yards.
Yeah. I'm wondering if Debo was still hurt, because he was like coming off the injury. So maybe he was like...
I didn't watch any of the game, but it seems like... I mean, they only lost by 1, but like it seems like... Like, who on the team did well? Like, who scored the points?
Oh, Brandon Ayuk. It was all Brandon Ayuk.
Oh, it was all Ayuk? Okay.
Yeah, it was all Ayuk. He had a really good game. Finally. It was like, he had like 25 points. So, yeah, finally had a good game. But, yeah, it sucks for all the other Niners, because Mason, Kittle, Debo didn't do well. I think Kittle might have been fine, but I don't remember what he did. We'll see that later. But... The one thing that sucks for K-Money is that Nico Collins just got added to the IR. I don't know if you saw that, but he is going to be out at least 4 weeks now. So that really, really sucks. Because he's been the wide receiver 1 on the year, I think.
He's getting more receptions than Diggs?
Yeah, he's been killing it this year. He has the most fantasy points in all of football. He has 1 more point than Jamar Chase, who's number 2 overall. Oh. Yeah. Nico's been killing. He's just been consistent. He got 20 points, 30 points, 12 points, 36 points, and then 15 points, but he got hurt, so. Yeah. Definitely, that's going to suck to lose him, because he's kind of been carrying him to consistency, at least.
That's crazy to get only 2 receptions in a game and get 15.8.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. 78 yards. I don't even remember, but it must have been like a 60-yard touchdown.
Must have been. I mean, Stroud's been airing them out, so.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that, because he still has Dalton Schultz. So there's a chance Schultz does better now. And Tank Dell is coming back too from injury, so I'm also kind of hoping that Tank Dell starts doing well for my own selfish reasons. But yeah, this team is definitely looking a lot more scary without Nico Collins, but I mean, it should be fine. He still got a lot of good players. I guess the running backs are a little sketchy if Etienne's hurt. He only has 3 running backs. Wow.
I mean, I'm in the same boat. Like, I don't feel great about my running backs. So,
That's fair.
I understand. And one of my running backs was drafted first overall. Or not, well, first for me. I guess it was the 12th pick overall.
But. Yeah, but if he comes back, though, he should be fine.
Yeah, I agree. We'll see how Joe Flacco works with Taylor.
Yeah.
Kind of a different dynamic.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Because it is funny that you mentioned that, too, because K-Money is a Colts fan. So I wonder who he is wanting to play, because it seems like they're better with Joe Flacco. But it is like Anthony Richardson's the future.
Well, so. I know when Richardson went out in the game, I guess that was not this past. I guess it was week 4. I think he went out. And Taylor, at the time that he went out, like, Taylor had a bunch of points and a lot of carries, and then all of a sudden Flacco comes into the game, and he just kind of stalled out and like plateaued and like didn't really get too much. So,
that's a good point.
So I'm kind of worried about that, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I had I don't know if you saw, but I had Trey Sermon in. I started him this last week.
Is he the backup?
Yeah, he was the backup, and he did terrible, but he fell in the end zone in the stupidest way possible, and he ended up with 18 points somehow.
Oh wow!
But that's
a lot better.
He looked really bad. Oh yeah, me too.
Because I mean, look at that, only 10 carries. He was 6 for 6 receptions.
6 receptions is crazy.
But that's the stat line that I was like. That's why I didn't pick him up when Taylor went out. I'm I just don't trust the fact that Taylor's a really good running back, and he wasn't getting any production. So
yeah.
Anyways, let's go on to the next. You want to go on to your matchup?
We can go on to my matchup since we're talking about it anyway.
Yeah.
And I will say that if I didn't pick up Trey Sermon, I would have won because I would have started Darnell Mooney instead, and I am upset. And
34 points for Mooney. Jeez.
Yeah. Probably one of the biggest players on someone's bench this whole year that wasn't started. So
I don't know. Week 1, I had some.
Yeah, you did.
Did pretty much.
That's true. Your bench scored 100, and your starting roster scored 40 or something.
Oh no, you beat me. I had Mason scored 25 on my bench.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 34 was.
So luckily, week 1 I did start DeAndre Hopkins, who got 1.8 points, so that was good.
Ah, nice.
We don't have to talk about week 1. We already did a podcast on that.
Well, we do have to talk about DeAndre Hopkins because he's on my team.
Oh,
he had a bye. Yeah. He had a bye because I stole him from you. My team is full of a bunch of stolen.
Steal is kind of an interesting word because I dropped him. Because I had too many wide receivers like him that I didn't really know who to start. So
that's the issue. There's so many receivers that are in the middle tiers.
You know? It's I don't know if Cooper's going to get 0 points where he gets thrown to 8 times and doesn't get a single catch. Or if he can score 15. Or maybe he gets a touchdown and he's 4 for 14.
Yeah, exactly.
It's tough. It's tough sometimes.
Fantasy is tough.
I know he's going to get thrown to. I just don't know how many. For lack of a better term, I don't know how many balls he's going to catch.
Yeah. It's tough sledding. Cooper's he's always been inconsistent though. It's I think it's always where 50% of his games are good, and then 50% are just terrible. It's you never know. And I don't know why, but it's always been that way since he was on the Raiders, since he was on the Cowboys, and then, now on the Browns.
I just think he goes through stretches where he looks very disinterested in playing the game of football.
That's a good point, yeah.
And when you have a quarterback that doesn't care and a franchise that's just bad, he's been on some bad teams.
Yeah, he has been. But Hopkins, who's also on a bad team, I was not able to play him because, sadly.
Did you play him last week?
I don't think so. I think I'm waiting to play him.
Because he had one good week.
Yeah.
That was week 3 against Green Bay.
It was funny, though, because I think the person I started over him did better that week. I think it was, I don't remember who it was, but I think it was Deontay Johnson. Yeah, I think week 3, was it? Yeah, Deontay Johnson did really good. But this week he didn't do good. I think he got hurt because I was just struggling through this game. It started off at the 6 a.m. game where I mentioned Aaron Jones got hurt, and Ty Chandler, even though he only got 5.9 points, he probably should have had like 0 because that would have all been Aaron Jones. So that one was like, okay, it's only 6 points, but like that was a little annoying because it's like 6 more points, and when it's close, that's annoying. Then there was Jaleel McLaughlin, who he's like right now he's like the second string running back, and they were like in the red zone on like the 5-yard line, and they ran like 2 or 3 plays. I think I don't know if they went for it on 4th, but they ran a couple plays and he wasn't in the game, and then he came in on the last play and they threw like a screen to him and he got in the end zone, and it was it's just super annoying because I think he got 7 points from that, and he was doing like really bad before that. So I was a little annoyed with that, and then
it seemed like a P. Ryan type of play.
Yes, it was a P. Ryan type of play. 100%. It was like that. If I start Jaleel McLaughlin, he's never going to do that. But if my opponent does, he's going to do that. So it's kind of like that. And then right as that happened, Jordan Love threw like a 75-yard touchdown to Tucker Kraft. It was like the tight end just like going super slow and no one could tackle him. and then I think like a couple minutes later they got a turnover and Love threw another touchdown. So it went from like me having a chance to win to instantly losing. And yeah, I was very frustrated because I lost to the team that started 2 backup running backs and 2 tight ends. So that's how my week went. And can't really do anything to avoid that. I think my team has been a little disappointing. Bijan Robinson is incredibly disappointing.
Yeah, because he's a much better player than like the points he's showing.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've seen like the memes, but there was like, because like Brian Robinson is also listed as B Robinson, there were a decent amount of people who accidentally drafted Brian Robinson instead of Bijan in the first round, and Brian Robinson has more points in 4 out of 5 weeks than Bijan Robinson.
That's great.
So, I guess I just picked the wrong Robinson, wrong B Robinson.
Yeah.
But the one thing I'm really excited about is that Ayuk finally did something. So, yay, Ayuk.
Yay.
Yeah, and I'm never benching Mooney again. Okay, that's all I have to say about my team.
Yeah. I wouldn't bench Moody again either.
Even if you get 0 points every week.
I mean, it seems like you have 3 pretty solid running backs.
Yeah.
And then 2 like kind of backup running backs, right?
Yeah, and I did just cut Trey Sermon, but I picked up Tyrone Tracy. So hopefully that works out. But I just figured like Trey Sermon looked terrible, so I was like, he's not gonna steal any work from Taylor when he comes back. So
yeah, that's just one of those like eyeball test type of things. Like, yes, the guy scored 18.3 points, but if you saw how he scored the points, which I didn't, but like, you know, if you're looking like, oh, he only got 10 carries, and yeah, it's kind of crazy, 6 receptions, but
yeah,
I mean, Taylor should be coming back, if not this upcoming week. He's questionable. Definitely the week after, or I don't know when their bye is, but whatever. So yeah, I don't think. It seems like a Pirine type of player to me.
Yeah, I'm not going to sweat that out anymore because it was like terrible the whole game, and then he just like fell in the end zone, and then they were down, so they were like throwing to him, I guess, a bunch. So he got like all those catches, and yeah, not a good week. Same with Walker, actually. I don't know if you look at Walker's stat line. He had 7 catches. So my running backs were just kind of barely getting points, but
10. You have 16 receptions.
Yeah.
Just your running backs. Did your running backs get more receptions than your wide receivers?
That's possible. Because Ayuk. Well, maybe. Because the rest did terrible.
10.
7, 15. They got 15 compared 13, to 16. Oh my gosh, they did get more.
Barely.
By 1.
No, your wide receivers had 17.
No, they had 15, I think. Right?
Well, I'm including your tight end, I guess.
Oh, yeah, the tight end. Yeah. Yeah, my tight end.
So your tight end and wide receiver core got 1 more reception than your 3 running backs.
That's so funny.
That's great.
Oh, man. Yeah, it was an interesting week for my wide receivers. If only I had started Darnell Mooney, who had 16 targets. That would have been nice. I mean, I don't think Cousins is going to throw for 500 yards every week, but...
Well, shall we get on to the next matchup?
Yeah, we can get... I've been talking about my team too much and ranting, so...
We had 2 teams that were 4-0 this week, both lose.
We did, yeah.
And one of those teams being
we already talked
OG.
About... Yeah, we already talked about K-Money beating Jen, so now we can talk about Rick. Rick getting destroyed. What happened?
By Brookezylaphone, who had less points than me, per se.
Yeah, just got to put that out there, you know. But yeah, it was funny because like we recorded the podcast last week on Friday, which was after Brooke already essentially won.
Points. Yeah.
Yeah. Already Mayfield, London, and Pitts.
Brooke winning with a Dolphins player in the starting lineup.
I know.
Look at that.
And
impressive.
Even though the player didn't do well.
Waddled his way to 8.6 points.
Yep. On the flex spot, which I guess there wasn't anyone else that did better on her bench. So it's not the worst, but yeah, I mean, overall, this was a high-scoring performance, and then Rick's team did not do well. Purdy didn't do well. Harrison did terrible. Harrison was really bad this week.
Every time I look at their team, they have Brown on their team. I'm just like, man, I really wish I drafted Brown over Moss. It's just disappointing. Because Brown just gets more carries. He's more involved in the offense than Zach Moss is.
Yeah. So. Yeah, gets the 2-point conversions, the touchdown in the red zone.
How many points do you get for a 2-point conversion?
I think it's 2. I'm pretty sure.
Is it 2 points?
Yeah, it's just 2. And you don't get if you
don't get the
catch,
yards or anything like that?
You don't get the yards or the catch. It's just the 2-point. Huh. So it's actually way better. If you have the quarterback, you just get 2 points compared to normally it would be less, So
yeah.
So, but if you have the QB and the receiver, you could get 4 points on it. So
that's crazy. A whole 4 points.
4 points. But I mean, both these teams, I think brighter days are ahead for Rick. But Brooke's team also, I know she's really mad at Breece Hall because Breece Hall's been terrible. But the Vikings defense is just really good, I think. So can't really fault that. But you do got to bench Waddle until Tua is back. I don't think you can keep playing Waddle and get away with it.
Well, I mean, who else is she going to play?
Well, if Shakir comes back, maybe McConkey. I don't know. That's a good point. She doesn't have a huge bench. Yeah, that might be a little hard. She might have to pick someone up.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah, or just keep playing Waddle. Yeah.
Pick up a Bengals player.
Yeah, you could.
They have a good offense.
Yoshi Voss or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think brighter days are ahead for Rick. Still 4-1, still in third place. We did mention that like once he starts playing some of the tougher teams, he's probably going to lose a couple games. But I think he still has a good chance to make the playoffs, starting 4-1. So
I would say so.
I would say so. I would say he's still likely to make the playoffs.
Question is, would you rather be 4-1 and like you feel like your team is still underperforming, or would you rather be like a 2-3 or 3-2 team, but your team seems like you're like on the rise?
That's a good question. I would probably rather have the team with no Bengals. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my gosh.
No, yeah, I think honestly, I would rather have your team right now because the Bengals are on fire.
I'm not saying my team. I'm just saying like,
you're not saying just your team
in general. Like, would you rather be like middle of the pack, but you feel like your team is like coming together and doing well? I don't think my team is like doing. I give my team like a B.
Okay.
And even during my win streak, like I feel like it's not. We're missing like 2 people. Like the Bengals defense is missing like 9 people. I'm missing like 2 players. I'm missing like a solid wide receiver that I can depend on, and like another running back that I can slot in there. Other than that, I feel like I like my team, but
I mean, yeah, you're in 6th place right now, so it's looking pretty good. And honestly, I would probably rather have it coming together.
Yeah, it's okay. That's fine. All right, you want to go on to the next matchup here? It's
let's do it. Is it Danbledore?
Dan versus Matt.
Yeah, Dan versus Matt. And
all right, on to the next matchup.
On to the next one. I mean, look at Dan's team. It's not looking good. I will say, I'm happy that
Tyreek Hill put up 12.9.
He did. So I guess that helped. It was just the curse of Tyreek Hill.
It's pretty good.
And really, it was just the Bills doing really bad. So, or ex-Bills doing bad. AKA Gabe Davis. Yeah, I mean, I would not want to be starting Zeke right now. It looks like he cut Zeke. So, he did have a lot of players not play or on bye. So, they should be coming back, so he should have some better players. But he cut Elliott and Akers, so I thought that was interesting. Well, I don't even know who he picked up yet, but yeah, I mean, Bills do bad, Dan does bad, and that's kind of the way it is.
Yeah. Even if the Bills do well, it's not guaranteed that Dan wins.
That's true, because
like the one time, like when they played, I forget what team it was, but he still lost to Jen that one week.
Yeah, because it was like Allen did all the points, but none of his other players did good. So, yeah, pretty brutal. It looks like Kittle did do really good. So, I guess Kittle
had a good game.
Yeah. But I mean, on the other side, Garrett Wilson and Lamar Jackson went off, and so did Brian Thomas. Yeah. I mean, this is 169 points is a ton of points.
That is a ton of points.
Yeah. But, I mean, 4 tight ends didn't help his tight end do better. So,
no.
At least it looks like he dropped 3 of them. So, yeah. But overall, team's looking good. Garrett Wilson's back, maybe, finally. I don't know, 23 targets for Garrett Wilson? What the heck?
I didn't notice that. That's insane.
I feel like he should even have more than 13 catches. That's wild.
That is pretty ridiculous.
and they still lost.
I feel like they're probably like, "Hey Rodgers, like, why aren't you throwing to Wilson enough?" And he's like, "I'll show you.
I'll show you.
I'm gonna pass him on first down, second down, every single every single
down.
time we come out." And
yeah, well, it didn't work, so maybe it'll go back to normal. But yeah, don't have too much to say about this one. It was a blowout.
Yeah,
got
sure was.
double the amount of points as Dan, so
that's crazy. Literally over double.
Insane. But that's not the only blowout we have. We have one more blowout, and then we're done with the matchups for the week.
All right.
So I guess we'll quickly go over this one.
Yeet.
And that's RageAgainstWeirdos versus Pawn. And Pawn was one of the people on the podcast last week talking trash. And sadly, he is a Dolphins fan. So prayers out to him.
Did start a Dolphins player and lost.
Yeah. It is. He did get injured, but I don't think it would have mattered because he wasn't doing great.
People that started Dolphins players are 1-2 this week.
And 1-32 overall. Yeah, that was a brutal injury, but overall, no one on his team did great. So that was the main issue. He did have some people on his bench. Yeah. Oh yeah, on RageAgainstWeirdos, Chase went off and carried him.
Damn, look at this bench though. 24 points, 15, 19, 11.
Yeah, so it is looking good for Pawn in the future. But he has a lot of really tough decisions, you know? Are you going to start Rico Dowdle over HN? Well, probably that one.
I think you can start any of your bench players over
over HN.
Judy. No,
over Judy too. Yeah, that's true.
Judy,
yeah. I mean, and Tucker Kraft over Ferguson. That's a tough one. But I might do it. Tucker Kraft looks good. So I don't know. It's a hard choice.
Touchdowns. That's crazy.
And one of them was a 65-yard touchdown. So I've never seen someone run so slow, but somehow make it to the end zone. It was wild. It looked like when they throw the ball to a Make-A-Wish kid and the defenders pretend to fall down. That's what it looked like. But yeah, Mahomes not doing good at all. He barely got 17 points and no touchdowns, but he got 300 yards, so he got the bonus.
But somehow he is the favorite to win the MVP this year.
That's insane to me. I'm shocked about that. Jane Daniels, Joe Burrow, I think those are much better bets.
Joe Burrow's team is 1-4.
Well, yeah, but think about it, if they come back, he's going to be I would say a lock. If they make the play, if they win the division, I think he's a lock for MVP.
I like how you went from if they make the playoffs.
Yeah, I changed it to division because I guess
it's already high enough. It's already tough enough for them to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But if they win a division.
I just thought about it.
Although I did put a bet on them making the playoffs, even after they, I put a bet on after they lost for them to make.
I think the offense looks really good. I think it's literally just
they're just missing about 9 players on defense. And
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I didn't even notice. RageAgainstWeirdos started and Andre Yoshivas this week.
Yep, I did see that.
I guess all the buys that really hurt him, and Adams having a quote-unquote injury.
His Bengals players added up to almost over 50 points.
Yeah, they averaged 24 points each. So
there you go.
Good job, Yossi Voss, adding helping that average out.
My Bengals players this week only averaged, quick math here,
what, 30, 36, 37?
Well, I just have to add them all together, and then
Oh, because you had,
Divide
I forgot
by
you have Moss too.
45, 46.
This is my favorite segment we've done so far.
70. They averaged around 25-ish.
Oh, so I guess yours did do better, but barely.
I'm barely the better Bengals team.
Yeah, the better Bengals fan.
Barely.
Barely.
That was our math segment.
But now we have a surprise segment.
What?
Are you ready?
No.
You're not ready?
TAC 1421's guaranteed prop bets.
Under.
Under. I don't know if you want to pick the under this week. But
so what was last week? I didn't listen to the whole podcast.
Yeah.
I just put different I just listened to different segments. Was there? How did they do?
Last week it was the head-to-head. So it was Brooke versus Pawn. So I had them each pick 3 because I really wanted to break the curse. I was like, someone has to get one right.
Yeah.
So Pawn went 0-3.
Oh my gosh.
But then Brooke went 3-0. She broke the curse.
Wow.
But I don't know if it's maybe someone has to go like 0-3. So maybe we won't officially break the curse until you get one right this week.
Oh boy, big pressure. Okay.
Big pressure.
I got this.
Essentially, I went all out for your picks. So the first one is Joe Burrow.
Ooh.
Over under 262.5 passing yards.
Over.
I knew it. I knew you were going to go over on that one. Next one, I think I know which one you're going with. This one too is Jordan Mason. Over under 82.5 rushing yards.
Oh, playing Seattle at Seattle. Under.
Under, yep. It's a tough one though. Who knows? Who knows? And the last one is T. Higgins. Over under 49.5 receiving yards. I knew you'd go over. Easiest bets of your life. I had to give you some good ones, you know.
What was the number that you had there?
49.5.
49? You're doing my man like that? 49?
No, I didn't do it. That's what Vegas is saying.
Oh my Lord.
So you should go put money on that one right now.
Double that. Put the odds on over 100.
Yeah. You can probably do the slider or whatever when you do the bet.
I'll take over 100.1.
Yeah.
100.5.
Honestly, you might want to do that. I'm gonna see if I can do that. I don't think I can on pick 6, but on
right. Well,
Sportsbook,
as you get to the next segment,
check it out.
I'm gonna look up the odds of.
Yeah, do it. Well, that was your guaranteed prop bets. So put the money in right now.
Guaranteed prop bets. Fade me.
Besides Higgins, the Higgins one is a guarantee. I think that one's too easy.
I still think you should fade me.
The curse? You think the curse is still alive?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if the curse is still alive, definitely fade him on all 3. Parlay them. You got it. Guaranteed. But yeah, those are your prop bets. Now we can go into the matchups for this week. So I guess we can start with your matchup. And you are playing RageAgainstWeirdos. I think he still has the most points in the league. Let me double check that. He has 690. Wow, he has almost 100 points more than the second most scoring person. That's crazy. He has 90 more points.
So, T. Higgins.
Yeah.
DraftKings odds for him to get over 100 yards is plus 600.
Ooh. Those are pretty good odds. If you think he's going to get over. I mean, he didn't do last one. It's my dog. My dog is squeaking his squeaky toy.
Very much so, yes.
Very much so.
The DraftKings over-under is 52.5.
Okay.
So they respect him a little bit more than Vegas.
Yeah, it might have changed too once they saw that Troy was about to put in a bunch of money. They had to change the odds quickly.
Hey, last week I put in a free bet and won $150.
Ooh, I didn't know that was a free bet. Damn.
Free bet.
Look at you.
Free bet for T. Higgins to get 2 touchdowns last week, and he got it.
That was freaking... I mean, hey, might as well then, right? Free. If maybe they'll give you another free bet. Maybe not.
Well, I don't know. So, yeah, we're playing the Giants this week. And
so you're about to go off.
The Bengals. So I'm expecting Burrow and Higgins to drop some points on the Giants. I did pick up Mark Andrews off the...
Oh, yeah, because you had Kelsey on bye, right?
Kelsey's on bye, so I wanted to go with another washed tight end to fit the trend here. Although I obviously watched him play last week, and he looked pretty good. Like, he was getting open, and...
Just don't look at him till 2 weeks before that. Don't look at those games.
I know. But I'm just saying, like, he was involved.
Yeah. It's a good sign.
So I was like, whatever. Let's do it. Let's pick him up. See if we can get like 8 points or something, 8 to 10 points. I'll be happy. The big thing here is Taylor. Is Jonathan Taylor? Is he gonna play?
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep my eyeballs on that throughout the week. I need to move some stuff around here so that I can put... Actually, no, I only have 2 running backs that won't affect anything. I think basically I'm either going to play Zach Moss or Taylor.
Yeah, that would make sense.
That's basically what's going to happen. So, do I have anyone on Monday? I do. I have Lazard. Okay.
Ooh, so you have that comeback potential if you need it. Yeah, and you'll have to decide early if you're going to play Lockett or not over Lazard.
I don't know. Is Lockett a lock?
Is Lockett a lock? That's a good question. Who knows? Not me. Yep. But your Bengals do play Sunday night, so I think... I mean, he does have James Cook on Monday, but you might be scoring a lot on Sunday, and... You might have to make a comeback. Hopefully not. Maybe you'll just be winning and destroy them, but it's going to be interesting.
Man. He has Jamar Chase on his team?
Yeah. So maybe this is a Higgins week.
This is a Higgins week if I've ever seen one.
Yep.
He's not going to... I'm going to text Joe Burrow right now, tell him to only throw to Higgins.
Good. I like it.
All right, so I'm probably going to lose this week. On to the next matchup?
On to the next matchup. I guess we can go to mine, because I haven't talked about my team enough this podcast,
You guys are projected both 107.
Oh, wow, yeah, it's very close. I put Mooney in, so not making that mistake again. But he has Neighbors coming back, which is very scary, because... The Giants are they're going to be down by a lot, so they're going to have to throw a lot to Neighbors, and if Neighbors comes back, I'm scared. But yeah, not really too much to say. I got pretty lucky with buys this week, so I'm hoping I can take a win, because I need a win really badly. I'm only in 11th place, thanks to Dan, not getting any points, but I should have been in 12th, because... I lost to the 12th place team, and I was in 11th. But thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan, for saving me. Yeah, I have no faith. I have no faith anymore in my team. I just feel like I'm cursed this year. So, yeah, no fun. It's the no fun team.
You should pick up Kirk Cousins.
I've thought about that, but Jaden Daniels is... I couldn't ever bench him.
That's fair.
I just can't do it. But, yeah. If Kirk Cousins scores another 40-point game, I might have to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about my team. Pawn's team.
You can pick up Kirk Cousins and then rename your team to Atlanta Lambs.
Ah. Yeah, I'd have more Atlanta players than Brooke if I did that. So I could take the mantle back. So, I'll might have to do that just to change my name.
Yep.
Honestly, my team is needing a name change. I think that might be the issue. So
Name
I'm gonna have
change,
to come up with something.
Picture change.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it all.
Just change the vibes just a little bit, you know?
Yeah. I have an LA Lambs jersey though, so that's the only issue. Don't think I can get a new jersey that quickly.
You have an LA Lambs jersey?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I got it as a gift, and it turned out pretty good. I'll just say that. It's pretty funny.
Cool.
But yeah, not too much to say. I'm probably going to lose this just because the way things have gone this year, but we'll see. Next matchup, since I don't want to talk about my loss anymore, I guess is Dan versus my mom. So my mom is going to be 2-4. So congrats. It is funny though, because the Bills play the Jets, and it's not a good matchup. I'll just say that. But
well, I mean, you never know.
Could be. Yeah, maybe
the coach they might be kind of not in sorts.
Yeah.
Have some sloppy football on Monday.
Yeah. My mom is going to have to bench Pittman, though. So we'll see what happens with that. So honestly, I think the projection is going to be closer than what it is right now. So we'll see. But who do you think? Do you think my mom's going to win this one? Do you think Dan's going to pull off the upset?
I think if he put in... No, I don't. I'm looking at his team. I don't know.
I'm trying to come up with a way for him to win.
I don't think he should play Singletary.
Yeah.
Actually, they're playing against Cincinnati. I don't know. Cincinnati's defense is so goddamn awful.
Ray McLeod is not a fan. I mean, Cousins threw for 500 yards, and he only got 12.6 points last week. So I just don't think he's going to do good.
Yeah, I just think up and down the roster, besides, I mean, I like Allen, but
yeah.
Besides the quarterback position, just up and down the roster, I just think
not a fan.
Patty's got it.
Yeah. Yep. Matchups are a little tough, but I think she will probably pull it off.
I guess
not too much.
Spot. I like Kittle too.
That's true. Yeah, Kittle. I guess McBride is projected more because McBride's been doing really good, but
yeah, but I like Kittle. I still like
Kittle's. Yeah, Kittle's been doing really good recently. So we'll see Thursday. We'll see tomorrow.
We'll see Thursday. I'm gonna be watching that game.
Oh yeah, definitely. Got a lot of Niners, but yeah, that's that matchup. Next one is Matt versus Jen, and this one's interesting because Matt's 3-2 now, and Jen's 4-1. So this is a big matchup. Who will, if Matt loses, he's gonna kind of be in the middle, stuck in the middle. But Jen, if she loses, they're gonna be both 4-2, and that'll be 2 losses in a row if she loses. So she needs to turn back. I don't know.
Yeah, I think this one will come down to Debo, really.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's I think it's really the wide receivers. I put this one on Brown and Debo. Can they actually be the number one targets they are? At least
that's
wide receivers.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Because Debo Samuel, he needs more than 3 targets.
Yeah, that's.
He just does. He ran the ball 3 times as well last week, but he needs more than 3 targets.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's just because he was still a little shaken up. So hopefully this week he turns it around because he needs to be involved.
He didn't play week 3, but when he was healthy, week 1 and 2 he got 9 and 10, which is what you'd expect.
Yeah.
And then he still played week 4 and 5. He played 76% of the snaps and 81% of the snaps.
Yeah.
And only got He doesn't have a touchdown this year yet. It's crazy.
Oh, wow. I didn't know he didn't have a touchdown. That's wild.
He got 5 targets week 4 against New England, and they lost. And then he got 3 targets against Arizona, and they lost. Like, you need to... Like, he needs more targets than that. You need to give him the ball.
Yeah.
At least once a possession. Like, at least.
At least.
You know?
At least.
Like, sure, if he gets it first down and then run, and then, like, you know, gets a hard tackle or something, or fights for a couple more yards, sure, maybe don't give him the ball right back. But, like, you need to be giving Kittle
they're not
the
winning,
ball
so
at least once every possession. You need to give Debo the ball once possession. Like, at least.
You gotta do it. You gotta try it at least. You gotta get people more, your stars more involved. Enough of this Juwan Jennings BS, all right?
So I think that's really going to be the keys to this matchup.
Yeah.
Is, I think, on Jen's side, it's those 2 wide receivers I mentioned. And on Matt's side, I think it comes down to Lamar. Is he going to have a game like he had last week? Flowers was open all over the place against the Bengals. Like, it just seemed like every time they needed him they needed like a play to happen, he was catching the ball. I don't expect him to do that well against Washington as he did last week, but who knows? Maybe he will. Maybe they found something.
Yeah. It's unclear. But
yeah, that's my
it's going to be a close one.
assessment.
I like the assessment. And next matchup we have is Team Naples versus Brookezylaphone. Yeah, this one's, it's not really projected super close. It's 10 point difference, 11 points almost. I think it really is going to come down to Breece Hall. If he gets 3 points again, that's going to kill her. Also, Baker Mayfield has got a tough matchup, so we'll see if Richardson plays. If Richardson plays, she might play Richardson. Who knows? But yeah, I don't like starting Jaleel McLaughlin. I don't like starting 2 tight ends.
Did you see when I was watching the game when Richardson got hurt? Did you see like how that entire thing happened with him?
No, I don't think so.
He got a big hit to like his like mid-sec, like his like
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
I don't exactly know where it was, but
it's like almost where his abs are.
Like either his abs or his side or something. And he came out, and Flacco came in for, I don't know, I want to say 4 to 5 plays. And then they put him back out there in like 1st and goal. Or maybe it was like on the 12-yard line or something, 1st and 10. Yeah. And they did a designed run with him.
What are they doing?
And he just ran right into a guy, and he's like, "No, I'm done." It's like, what? It's like, what's like? How is that the play call?
Yeah.
Like with your quarterback, like obviously he was showing discomfort. How would you, like, why are you, especially on like a goal line type situation?
Yeah, that's
where
wild.
They're going to be crowding the box. Like, how are you gonna run the ball with your injured quarterback? And of course, like, I was upset because I wanted Jonathan Taylor to score, and I don't think he did.
Oh yeah, because that was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was a weird play calling on the Colts, but if he's back, yeah, I don't know. We'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, that could be interesting. I know Baker Mayfield's been really good, so it might not even matter. Might just be better to start Mayfield and play it safe. If the coaches are gonna keep running Anthony Richardson, even though he's hurt.
Derrick Henry last week.
Oh yeah, went off.
Honestly, besides like one of the final plays of the game.
Oh yeah, I guess he didn't do good.
He didn't really have that great of a week. Besides that, like very last drive where he got 50 yards.
Yeah.
But besides that, I think the Bengals played him pretty well, surprisingly. They weren't stopping the pass, but they were stopping Derrick Henry's run up until it mattered. But what I was going to say is he got a touchdown last week, and he also So that was his 100th touchdown in his career.
Oh, wow.
And he also broke the 10,000 rushing yard mark in his career. In the same game against the Bengals.
That's cool.
So it happened. I don't know if it happened on the same drive or like back-to-back drives. I want to say it happened like the first half, but he didn't need, like, he only needed obviously one touchdown, and he didn't need too many yards to like get over that 10,000 margin.
Yeah.
Because before overtime, he only had like 48 yards or something like that. So.
Yeah, he wasn't getting a ton of yards. I mean, he didn't even get 100 on the day, so.
Yeah.
Not surprised, but yeah, I mean, he's been really good this season overall, so he should be able to have another good game. And who knows, maybe McLaughlin gets another touchdown randomly. Who knows?
Who knows?
I'm totally not salty about that still.
Definitely not.
But yeah, I think Brooks gonna win this. Nothing too much to say. I guess we can go on to the last.
All the people that have, what if all the people, including myself, because I have a Dolphins player on my lineup, on my roster, if all the people that own Dolphins players, because it's the bye and they bench them this week,
they do better.
If they win. Because they benched their Dolphins players.
You know, you might be onto something.
Now, I've only started one of my Dolphins players once, and he ended up getting a concussion and looked like he died. But and I lost horribly that week. But
oh, man.
Besides that 1 week, I have only started a Dolphins player once. So I am 3-1 not starting Dolphins players, and I'm 0-1 starting Dolphins players.
I mean, math checks out, so.
I mean, the math doesn't lie, right?
Yeah. Numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie.
But yeah, don't start your Dolphins this week for sure. I'll say that right now.
For sure. I might just pick up another Dolphins player and put him on my bench this week for moral support.
For moral support.
Who's on the waiver wire right now?
I don't even know. Like Jonnu Smith, is he the tight end?
Is there a way to pick
picking a team?
Sort by team?
I don't think so. I mean, I know Tyler Huntley is available. I'll tell you that right now. You don't even got to look that up.
Dolphins. Nope, there's not a way to do that. Got it.
You could. I think Jonnu Smith is probably the most valuable. Yeah, because he's a tight end. So he'd be the only person that would even be like a startable person.
I'll have to do some research. I might pick up the fifth string running back. Or wide receiver, not running back, wide receiver.
Just to get the moral support. Got it.
Just for moral support this week.
Anyway, the last matchup, I don't think either of them have a Dolphin, so neither of them are going to get that moral support bump from benching the Dolphin player this week. But KMoneyTheRichOG is playing Ricknolle, and this is a really, really good week for Ricknolle to play KMoneyTheRich. And I just want to point this out now since we're going over Ricknolle's team. If you go to points against, Ricknolle has the least amount of points scored against by like 50. And I think that's hilarious as well. So definitely had a very, very good strength of schedule, or very good schedule for him. And now this week, he's playing KMoneyTheRich, who not only has Jefferson on bye, but has Nico Collins on IR. So his top two receivers are missing now. So, yeah, I think Rick is going to win again.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't have too much to say about this episode, but it also stings that Rick has Stephon Diggs, who's probably going to do better because Nico's out. So it's like a double whammy.
It's a dig.
Wait a second.
All right, it's been a great podcast. Hopefully everyone enjoyed.
It's a dig. Wait, it didn't go. There we go. Only took like 2 hours to do.
It's a good thing you're a really good editor.
Yeah, I'll just delete so it's only like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think there's too much to say about this matchup. So
No, I already moved on to another.
Already
other
moving
pages.
on.
I'm the only person that has people on my trading block. I'm just saying, people.
That's true.
If you don't want people on your roster and you're willing to trade them, put them on the trade block.
Who is on your trade block still? Is it I need to look this up.
And Kelsey.
Yeah. Well, I did try to trade you for Kelsey, but I think it was a week too late. You might have accepted that a week earlier. Before Rasheed Rice.
I like McLaurin too much.
You like okay.
Like Terry.
Gotcha. Fair.
I would trade Cooper. Or Lockett.
For Lockett? Cooper or Lockett? Maybe. I was mainly doing it because I haven't been a fan of Ayuk, but I'm glad I waited a week. Well, I didn't wait a week, but I'm glad it got delayed a week. And then I was doing it because I have Jaden Daniels, and I wanted the stack.
Yeah.
But that was the only reason. I probably shouldn't have offered it. Looking back on it. But hey, I was trying to get some trade involved because it does not seem like any trades are going on so far. So we got to step up our trade game. It's just like that one
Monopoly game where like the people that are losing just refuse to, like, they want to go down with their ship.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They want to go down with their Dolphins.
Don't buy anything or trade or.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely like that. Well, thank you for joining me. It's been a fun podcast.
Yes.
And very long. This one's a little longer than normal, but we got through all the matchups. We did talk about my team a lot because I was ranting about losing to two backup running backs and 2 tight ends, but we're here now. So thank you. Yeah. No. Not salty. Not salty at all. Okay, let's end it before I get raged again.
Go Bengals.
So all right. Have a good one. Peace.
Later.